little practice and talk around the breathing and the importance of good breath mechanics. So, you'll notice everybody has two blocks next to their chair. We're going to use those in a little bit. So part of yoga is the use of the breath to not only reduce the stress response in the body, but also when we breathe well, we have better posture. We create a system of more balance in the nervous system. And this all, yeah.
Hopefully you can help with the posture. My wife says I slouch too much.
Well, yeah, it should. I mean, when we're breathing right, we tend to want to sit up taller. We tend to take a deeper breath. We tend to lift a little taller. And the importance of breathing through the nose. So breathing through the nose, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Breathing through the nose and using the abdomen to breathe deep. So this actually reduces the stress response, and there's a lot of importance around balancing the oxygen and CO2 levels in our blood. So when we shallow breathe, so a lot of us we want to breathe deeper, but we tend to do that by tensing up around our neck and shoulders. So we don't even realize it, but we might be like trying to breathe deeper by kind of tensing up here. So that's kind of shallow breathing right up around the collarbones and the neck area. And when we do that, we don't use the full lobes of the lungs, so we don't get down to the bottom lobes of the lungs. And so the importance is this diaphragm muscle. And we don't use the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is like a canopy muscle. It's like around the lower rib area it attaches, and then it goes up into the rib cage, kind of like just like a balloon or a canopy like this. And that's on the exhale. So when you're breathing in, the diaphragm should pull down out of the rib cage, kind of flatten and go concave the other way. So, and exhaling, it goes back up and pushes up on the lobes of the lungs and the heart. And then inhaling, it pulls down into the belly. So if you want to look a little closer, when we're using the diaphragm, there's this kind of up and down motion. It's pulling the fascia around the heart and the lungs. It's so giving kind of a massage to that space. And it also is moving up and down on this long cranial nerve. So this is a nerve called the vagus nerve. And it kind of wanders from the brain all the way down through the body, through the chest cavity, through a hole in the diaphragm, and down into the gut. So when we breathe deep, there's actually this up and down of the diaphragm on the vagus nerve, signaling the brain that you're safe, that all is well. So when you're breathing diaphragmatically, it's saying, we're at rest. And the nervous system can move more towards balance rather than hyperactivation with increased heart rate, increased blood pressure. So we're gonna do more practice to get us down into low breath in the belly rather than tightening the chest and the shoulders. So, does that make sense? All right, a little anatomy this morning. So, lowering the stress response and just kind of coming into into the body a little more, noticing sensation. Shifting out of all the thinking and the doing, and so there's just notice today. So you could just close your eyes for a moment if you want. Or you could just kind of take your gaze down or at the tree out the window, whatever you want to do. Just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose, just relaxing. A few breaths like that, just kind of letting yourself settle here. Letting go in the morning. Just letting go of all the mental chatter and the to-do list. Letting your body just arrive right here in the present moment. Feeling your feet on the earth. Take a breath in, and you exhale out through the nose, just letting your legs settle further onto the seat. So you feel where your backs of your legs touch the chair and feel supported. You might take another breath in. And with a slow exhale out, just feeling where your back and spine are supported by the chair. You feel your hands rested comfortably in your lap, your arms a little heavier. You're letting the shoulders or the upper arm bones settle a little further by your sides. Just taking several more breaths in and out to come to a little slower pace. So we move out of cardio exercise into just body awareness. You might travel down through the body and just notice where you hold a little tension. You might notice as you bring your attention there that it releases a little bit. So noticing across your forehead, and down through your eyes, and the temples. The body can just, not us even really aware of it, hold tension in different places. Maybe notice the jaw. Coming back to the cervical spine and down the neck area. So if you're taking a little walk with your awareness out to your shoulders. Taking a breath in and out. Just relaxing the upper arm bones. Noticing the chest. And drifting around to the upper back and behind the shoulder blades. Coming to more body awareness, just noticing how we can be a little hyper-vigilant in our body, ready to spring, and just kind of letting that ease maybe down through the area of the diaphragm, around the lower ribs. noticing into the abdomen. Is it soft or resistant? Tension or ease in the right hip. And around the lower back. And everything's an option, right? So we can venture our awareness wherever we choose. Sometimes moving into different areas can be uncomfortable. So noticing in the left hip. Not anything to change here. There's nothing to fix or to do. Take a deeper breath in through the nose and out through the nose. As you feel both legs settle, keep holding both legs in awareness. Any sensation that draws your attention, you can just take another breath. As we come into the whole body awareness, you might hold the entire body in your field of awareness. Taking a breath in and out. And we'll just start to notice that natural breath. So coming into the space where the breath enters the nose and exits the nose. Those subtle sensations. And first, just bringing some ease of tension around the neck. We're just going to take the tip of the nose and just kind of draw some small circles. Right, maybe a quarter-sized circle with the tip of the nose. And you could even imagine that you're painting the circle on the wall across from you. And gradually make that circle a little bit larger. Just continuing to relax through the neck and the jaw, behind the ears. You can move in these continuous circles that get larger. Or you could even change it a little bit, just maybe even like a figure 8. Or just like you're painting the wall across from you, just however your head wants to move. Or just continue the circle. So just really softly exploring whatever tension might be in the neck or the shoulders. And if you were doing the circles in one direction, you might try the opposite direction. See if anything releases there, maybe even around the jaw, into the upper back. And we'll come back to a neutral head. Let's take the right shoulder and just kind of really small circles. We're going to kind of release a little bit around that right shoulder, but bring your attention down to the lower inner tip of the shoulder blade. So it's close to the spine. So you can kind of move that shoulder blade in and out a little, just softly loosening the scapula on your back. Try a little, you can squeeze a little bit towards the shoulder blade and then release it. Moving that shoulder blade on your back. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths, just relaxing the upper back. Relaxing the arms. Just kind of see if you switch to the other side. Just move that right shoulder. You could do some circles or just slide the scapula up and down or towards the spine and then out again. So it's just kind of some movements to kind of free up that shoulder blade. And it's really just an exploration. It's kind of, is a side different? Nothing to really accomplish, but just to notice. We're going to go back and forth a few times, from right shoulder to left shoulder, the scapula, just continuing to let them rest on your back or move just really gently, with gentle flow. Take a breath in, just lift them both up a little higher by your ears, so inhaling. And with an exhale breath, just let them float down by your sides. The shoulders drop, stay tall through your spine. And rest. And take a breath. So you can let the shoulders just drop and rest. Start to breathe a little deeper. So we're going to use our blocks here. So a couple different techniques to, now that we've loosened the neck and the shoulders a little bit, just with one block to start. We're going to take that block on the short end, place it right behind your back. Slide the back right up to the block. Right, so you feel the sacrum kind of pressing against the block. Feet are flat on the floor. Relaxing neck and shoulder. You're going to take a breath in, just kind of feel that lower abdomen. So we want to start to be able to expand the belly on the inhale, or soften it at least. Then on the exhale, we're going to press the belly back to the block. So you're pressing the sacrum into the block, and you'll feel that core muscle kind of engage between the hip joints. So on the in breath, we're expanding the belly. And as you're exhaling, you're pressing your back into the block and the belly to the spine. So see if you can coordinate that breath a little bit. Try that out. It's going to help activate your diaphragm so you start to breathe a little deeper. Softening the shoulders, not recruiting the neck or the shoulders. With the in breath, softening the belly. And with the exhale breath, pressing the belly back to the block. Two more of those. See if you can feel the expansion on the inhale. This might feel a little different to start. And on the exhale, just feel that recruitment of your abdominal wall. And you might want to even do the opposite at first. So not recruiting the shoulders, but just the abdomen. One last time. breathing in, expanding the belly. And on the exhale, squeezing the belly back to the block. Okay, let's rest there. Pause. So it's interesting, I notice a little bit of like shoulders going like this to breathe deep. So see if you can keep the shoulders relaxed. We're gonna try and add on to that with the other block between the knees. So the other part of the breath is the pelvic diaphragm, the base of the body. So we want the breath actually, if possible, we breathe in, expand the belly, and soften the pelvic floor. And on the exhale, now we're going to squeeze the block and the belly back to the block. So we're going to use our knees to kind of activate the pelvic diaphragm, and then the belly back to the block. So there's a lot going on there. So we'll try it. So on the inhale, we're relaxing both. And then on the exhale, squeeze the block, press the belly back to the spine and into the block. Releasing both on the inhale. And on the exhale, again, squeezing belly, squeezing block. Lengthening out the breath. So now we're extending that inhale and exhale if we can, without strain. So trying not to really strain the breath, but to lengthen it out. So might be 4 or 5 count inhale, and then the exhale the same or longer. Continuing to soften shoulders, neck. Taking the action down into the core. So we'll try one more to see if we can feel that activation there. How did that go for you? Did you feel the difference in breathing low in the belly as opposed to kind of trying to breathe more up here? Okay. So something we'll continue to work on, that deeper breath. And so at the same time, we're starting to, it has an effect on our nervous system, right? We're the diaphragm's moving on the vagus nerve. That can even have an effect on depression and anxiety, to breathe deeper and lower in the belly. So, all right, so we'll just move a little bit. So let's take some shoulder rolls. So with the inhale breath, again, softening as you exhale to roll back and down. See if you tightened up in your shoulders at all from the breathing practice, and then just let them go. Just let them relax down. Just bringing softness through the hands. We're going to link our fingers so we can carry tension in any part of our body. So let's take some figure eights and just see what you notice in your wrists as you move the knuckles in the shape of a figure eight. So you might try to keep the elbows as still as you can. Just forward direction. Notice if you tightened up anywhere else in your body. I kind of noticed my toes gripping in my shoes. I don't know why, but maybe you notice if you start clenching your teeth or something. Maybe it's just to notice. And then we'll take the hands, flex the wrists back, inhaling. As you exhale, drop your fingertips down. And just kind of do that a few times, just to see if you can follow the length of your breath in, the length of your breath out. Continuing to soften neck, shoulders, and upper chest. Just kind of wiggle the arms out. With our feet flat on the floor, we'll slide forward a little bit. Let's take a reach out and out, the deep breath in. Start where your body stops that motion. Yeah, so it's your body's way. It may just come halfway up, that's okay. Let our arms float down, keeping that length in your spine. Softening neck and shoulders. Let's try it a few times. So with the in-breath, just isolating the lift of the arms, lowering back down, releasing out the breath. We try one more. So notice if one arm is different than the other. One shoulder coming back. And pause, just let the arms hang by your sides. Nice deep breath. We'll bring the hands back to the left. Lifting from the lower spine, just take a lift, feel the lumbar, and then hinge from your hip joints. So we're going to come forward, lengthening the spine. So taking a forward bend. Pause. You can widen your feet out a little if that's more comfortable. And stay here. If you like, you could explore that stretch in your back by just holding this for 3 breaths. You might start to feel, if we can bring that breath down into the belly and into the, around the lower rib area, so that diaphragm has some space. And with your inhale, come back up, looking out, extending the spine, and pause. Exhale and releasing. Let your left hand come to the seat next to you, if that feels good. And explore the right side of your body, reaching the right arm out and up and over. So you're kind of mirroring me. And releasing a little bit as you exhale. We're just going to let the elbow drop. And then taking 2 more breaths. So with the in-breath, reaching up and over. And the exhale, releasing back and down. Maybe one more time. Inhale, up and over. Exhaling to release. Just noticing around the rib cage. Let's try the other side. Inhaling up. And exhaling, letting the elbow just drop a little bit. So you can follow your breath and really just notice what sensations are there. There's no real, correct way to do this. So it's really just you feeling into that left side of your body. What's there? And we'll let that arm float back down when you're ready. Resting your hands. Pause. And take a breath. All right, see if anything tightened up in the meantime. breath with movement by subtle spinal movement. So let's just kind of feel the upper spine with the in-breath. Just lifting, we're gonna almost like the lower ribs are lifting a little bit. We're arching our back, shoulders relax. And then exhale breath, just release it back down. We'll try that a few times. So the in breath, feeling, lifting lower ribs, and the exhale, just coming back to neutral. Continuing to relax through your shoulders, see if you can feel that arching up. And exhale to center. And last one. Good, and we'll start to add on a little bit. So maybe the whole spine. So this time we really were tilting the pelvis a little bit too, just to recruit maybe the lumbar spine, looking up a little too. And then looking down and rounding the whole spine towards the back of the seat. And you might try moving between those two positions, noticing, breathing in, arching back, looking up. And breathing out, looking down and rounding the spine. Alright, so we're kind of just feeling along the erector spinae muscles, the spinal extensors. Well, we can hold a lot of tension. Good. Alright, this last one. Take your exhale, maybe slide your hands forward on your knees, and then draw the back ribs towards the back of the seat, and just drop your chin. We'll just hold that cat pose, it's called, for a moment. Let's take several breaths. So our chin drops towards our chest, and we slide our back ribs back, and rounding the upper back. And then draw right up through the 26th vertebrae, just like zipping right up the spinal extensors. We're going to come back to neutral, bring your chin up, and gently draw the chin back. And let's just continue. So with our hands on our legs, we're going to do some circles. So just taking the left shoulder by the right knee, so you can feel maybe that stretch now down around the oblique area. Hands could be on your knees, legs could be a little wider, right? We might step a little wider, I forgot to say that. So, and then swing around to the other side. Inhale back up to neutral. And exhale to circle the chest around. So now we're kind of circling around the lower rib area to see, what might be restricting the breath from moving into the lower belly. We have tension around the hips or the obliques, around the solar plexus, or upper abdominal wall. We'll try the other direction. Just reversing those circles. Inhale to come back. And exhale to come around. And we'll come back to neutral. Pause. Let's take the arms out and up. So deep breath in, expanding the belly. Exhale, let's bring the hands down the center. As you release the breath out. resting the hand. So our feet are wide again. We're on the balls of our feet. Just kind of moving into the hips. So we're going to let our knees turn towards the green wall. So our right inward rotation of the hip. And then switch to the other side. So drop right into the hip joints. Just kind of see how that feels. Dropping the left knee down. And breathing along the way. So we switch. I want to see the texture of the movement. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Does it feel restricted or at ease? The next time we turn towards the parking lot, let's turn all the way in that direction. Just slide the right leg over the short end of the chair. The right hand on the back of the seat. And your left knee is, you're going to kind of adjust. So your left knee can maybe turn inward. You can come onto the toes in the back so you're not flaring the ankle too much. And slide the back foot back a little. So you might feel that stretch in your hip flexors as best you can. If it doesn't feel right in any way, of course, listen to your own body. Your outer arm might stretch up, right? Just to feel that stretch a little further in that hip. Good. And can you come on the toes in the back there so your foot's not flared out? Yeah. So the knee joint doesn't like a flared ankle like that. So right. Okay. One more breath. Good. Let your arm float down and around, and let's slide that back foot forward. Walk your feet back to center. Good, neutral feet. On your knees over your ankles. And tall through your spine. So with that neutral spine, let's take a breath. And just feel up the center. Maybe pause for a moment. You notice any difference between your right and left hip in that stretch? Let your arms float back down. Exhaling. We might try that stretch on the other side. See if this hip feels different. But you're going to swing that left leg all the way over the short end of the chair. Left arm on the back of the seat. And the back foot slides back as far as you're comfortable, right? Lifting up through your hip joints. You might stretch that outer arm overhead. Even try to straighten the back leg if that's available, but stay with what works for you. And yeah, the arm could be out to the side, right? Lots of options here. Could be here. But it's exploring the different options that you find what works. And take a breath. And notice if you can arrive with a breath that's even in and out without tensing parts of your body. Let the exhale just guide the back leg in. And shift back to neutral. Right. Knees over your ankles, sitting up tall. And take a breath, lifting up through the spine. Inhale, breath. And let's hinge forward. One last forward bend. Exhale, breath. spinal extensors. We're looking out. Inhale, look out, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold back in. Coming all the way up. Deep breath. Let's reach out and up, maybe overhead. Let your exhale guide the hands down the center. And rest. We'll just slide back in the chair. So just this last little part of our class, just doing a short return to that breath, but I'm going to guide you to this subtle breathing low in the belly. So you could just rest your hands comfortably so your shoulders, your neck, your jaw relaxes. You close your eyes if you like. Just feeling a lift through the spine, so we have space between our lower ribs and our hip bones. A gentle draw back of the chin, so space under the chin to the collarbones. Begin to notice the subtle breath as it goes in through the nose, all the way down, filling the belly. And as you exhale, just notice the air coming back up and out the airway into the small space in front of the nose. The inhale breath travels in and down behind the belly, filling the belly. And the exhale breath, the belly pulls in, and the breath moves up and into the space in front of the nose. Continue that, filling the belly on the inhale, lengthening out the breath. And imagine filling the pelvic diaphragm as well. If it's uncomfortable, just go back to a natural breath. Rest. Just gonna let your body rest in the chair, soften. You can lean back, and just kind of we'll do a short travel down. Just kind of see, can you rest a little bit around the jaw, the neck, shoulders, chest, arms and fingers. Maybe you find a place in the body that feels at ease. Maybe it's just the palms and the fingers. Maybe go to that place and just stay in that place for a moment. Take your attention out to the sounds in the room for a moment. Just listening to sounds. Notice that your ears are hearing the sounds. breath practice went for everybody. How did that go? Did it feel agitating, relaxing?
Good.
Just still kind of figuring out the mechanics of it? Feels different or a little
Feels
different?
good.
Okay.
Different way of breathing.
Yeah, so I think we were talking about this on Friday, right? Just
Yeah.
feeling like almost like you want to suck in to inhale. Like, and that's called reverse breathing. We actually can, over a lifetime, start to train ourselves in the opposite of what is relaxing to our nervous system. So we have to kind of retrain to expand on the inhale rather than try to suck in and use our shoulders to get more breath. So it's a good time to practice even laying on your back to go to sleep at night. It's easy to feel that rise and fall sensation in your breath. And continue to lift the rib cage up off the hip bones, so just giving the diaphragm more space to breathe. Yeah. Any other observations about that? About the breath? Is it hard to focus on that subtle area of squeezing the blocks? Or did that feel like that kind of helped the process a little bit?
It helps
Helps
just
a
to
little
do
bit?
that type of exercise.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of the day.
Thank
And
Thank you.
yeah.